All right, let's get started.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you have your outline prepared?
The outline that you said you wanted to have.
I don't need an outline. I'm a star.
You're a star.
Hi, we're back. We're back again. Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome back for another installment of Cracked Vessels. Sound effects.
You're special.
Bam, bam, bam.
So
Listen,
what your name is?
this is, I'm Robert. Oh, whole name?
Robert. Yeah, what's your last name?
Oh, no, we'll do the last names.
We've been doing it.
Witness protection. I'm Robert Woods.
I'm
this
Samantha Woods.
We are the Woodses with an S.
This is our
Third episode.
A Cracked Vessel.
For those that speak Spanish, uno, dos, tres.
I'm done. He's in a silly mood. If you are new to the podcast.
If you're new to the podcast, what is this podcast about? I guess okay. Podcast is about relationships, exclusively our relationship.
Yeah.
We've been together 19 years,
yeah.
Married 12, right? And so we know something about relationships. We know, know a little something. We know how it works. We know how it doesn't work. And we're learning what works for us, right? Right. Okay. So this is a relationship podcast.
And so we hope that throughout this that we give nuggets that will help you.
Gems.
Help you wherever you are in your walk, or maybe if you're just desiring to get married someday or be in a relationship and you just
taking notes.
Yeah, or if you are already in a relationship,
still taking notes.
And we are still taking notes too.
It's very much so.
But anywho, before we get all the way in today, we want to let you guys know first to please like,
share,
comment, and
subscribe.
So please share and tell a friend
at the same time. Do that at the same time. Like, share, and subscribe.
We're just looking at our feet wet with
and
this.
Tell your neighbor. Don't touch them. Tell them.
Oh my gosh. And also, guys, we're coming with our own topics, but we would love to hear from you all. If you have any questions, if you would like to hear our input, whether we would agree or disagree, you always know we always have our own opinions.
Indeed.
But if you would like to hear from us, any topics, we would love to hear from you. So we encourage that too. And so today last week we talked about how we broke up.
Yes.
And how we needed that time in order for us to grow. And so now we're back together. Back again. And we're going to take you through that and what that looked like. And we're going to get this started. So okay. All right. He's
you lead us.
He's flipping today.
Because before the camera rolled, you were talking about you going to take over anyway. So I don't want to take over. I would like for you to help chart the course. He's
going to probably correct me. I'll probably, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Anywho, so we talked about how we broke up and how it was very hurtful. My husband he definitely shared his feelings last time. If you missed it, we'll link it here for you to be able to go back and check that one out. But so now time has happened, right? We had broken up and a lot of things happened.
Yeah.
In between that time, we were broken up for what, almost
2 years.
2 years, and so what are some things that happened, honey?
I think this is your telling of the story.
So this is how I saw it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And so
you're not going to bail out that easy.
I had to do some of my own growing. He thinks that I went right into relationships. I didn't necessarily go right into a relationship, but I did go back to what was familiar. And sometimes that's not always good. Because sometimes when you go back to those, okay, I see.
No, describe what I am.
Oh, okay, I thought you were shading me.
No.
I mean, sometimes when you go back to those things, it's for comfort and not for growth. And so that did happen to me there. And along the way through that journey, I did some partying. I'm sure he did too, but I know he had, okay, whatever. Anywho, but I focused on my studies and I was studious. But anywho, that's what you really want to hear. He's really trying it. However, in all of this, I became pregnant with a beautiful child. and I did not expect that at all. That could be another episode, because, yeah. But anyhow, I did become pregnant with a beautiful child. I was blessed to experience that, but at the tender age of 21. And so...
Not tender age.
21 is a tender age.
There's people out here that had babies at 16, 17 years old.
Yeah. Oh, Siri's talking.
Siri's talking.
Not Siri shaded me. But no, seriously, I did.
Siri's been pregnant from the beginning.
And I knew... We can't help ourselves. I knew that he knew. But I was in such a weird space. I was not... Yes, I was blessed to be, carrying a child. However, I was in such a dark place because I didn't know how to maneuver. You know what I mean? I didn't expect for my life to look like that at that time. And so for me, that was a really dark time. I was not interested in talking to anyone. I just became like a completely different person, if I can be all the way honest. And fast forward.
Wait, can we pause real quick?
Sure.
How you just said you knew that I knew. How did you know that I knew you were pregnant if we weren't in communication? Because we had stopped talking. So how did you know that I knew that you were pregnant if you didn't tell me directly?
I saw your family. I saw your mama, and I saw your brother around.
Oh, my brother, yeah,
Yes.
but the brother snitched. He came and told me.
Because, I'm still in the church and things like that. I also at that time was working in the mall. And so people saw me. A lot of people saw me. I almost felt like I was on display.
Well, you were. You were working at a kiosk in the middle of one of the busiest malls in the county that we were living in.
Yeah, I was working at,
Right.
I won't say the company, but it was a jewelry establishment that I was working there. And people were just kind of like, I was always looked at as like the good girl kind of thing. Oh, he tried me.
I didn't.
And if I could say this to my ladies, don't wear that scarlet letter. If you find yourself in that position, do not make yourself feel like you are less than, or make it seem like you're dirty, or you're, sleeping around and stuff like that. It only takes one time. One time. So just keep that in mind. But anywho, I knew that he knew, but I know a lot of people knew. But moving forward,
I didn't call you though.
You did not call me, no. But I just knew, it was a weird time for me. So grateful for my baby girl. But for me personally, before she got here, the things I experienced was very, very low. And so...
Would you say depression?
Definitely, I would say depression.
Depression, isolation.
Isolation. I don't want to be bothered with anyone.
Escapism.
I just was not in a place. So I'll fast forward. She comes into the world, and she, beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. She came in being nosy, as she still is. I love her to death. And just like had to do a lot of things in terms of adulting really fast. I'm one of 9, okay? I'm the baby. That's another episode of how I came into this world.
That's a whole other show.
Whole other show. But anywho, my siblings were significantly older than me. And so I was almost raised as if I was like an only child for a lot of my life. And so just having to adult, he would say I was sheltered.
Very much so.
He was too. He was from the ghetto.
I'm not.
Right.
But I'm not as sheltered as you were.
Okay, whatever. And he was super sheltered, and so just having to adult really fast and just take on some things, and life was lifing, and I found myself having to. At this point, she's born. She's only very small. Not like she was a preemie. I'm just saying she was a small baby at the time, infant, and I'm going to be taking her father to court, and I'm freaking out. I'm absolutely freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. It was a lot. And I was like, I need to call a friend. I need to call somebody. And guess who I called? I called him.
Yeah.
You didn't say what I said when I called you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So at
Am I
this
doing
point,
okay?
yeah, you're fine. It's a
Okay.
great storytelling.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm on my way. We have not talked. We have not spoken. Close to 2 years at this point, probably. And so I never had your house number saved, but I'm on my way to class, and it's a spring semester. I'm going up MLK, and the phone rings. I'm like, this number looks really familiar. It was really, now, mind you, I had seen her months before in the mall from the second floor, looking down into the kiosk that she was working in, because my brother was just like, hey, look, she's pregnant. And I peer over, and when I see her, my heart kind of, the ice box where my heart used to be, kind of thing. For those that are within the age range, it was B2K, right? Omarion. Omarion, not B2K.
Yeah, Omarion.
Respectfully, not B2K, just Omarion.
Right.
Got it.
We'll put that below.
Thank you. I see her, and I kind of get tripped up because it confirms and proves everything that was being told to me, but I hadn't seen it to confirm it for myself. And no, I did not go down to the bottom floor. No, I did not confront her. No, I did not want to see her face to face, because I knew what it was. She knew what it was. I just don't want to deal with it. I think I was seeing somebody at the time, or just whatever.
Probably.
It doesn't matter. Actually, I wasn't seeing anybody at the time. So anyways, time goes on. Phone rings one day, on my way to class. Hadn't spoken in a long time. And it's this soft voice weeping on the other end of the phone, crying.
Okay.
All that.
We get it.
All that. Sound effects installed there. But it's just this, she's like, I didn't want it to be like this. I didn't imagine it to be like this. And I was just like, I said, what's wrong? What is the problem? What is happening with you? And she goes into this whole piece of da-da-da-da-da. I shouldn't say da-da-da-da. She was just like, I didn't want it to be like this. It's not supposed to be like this. This is not how I envision, having my first child, whatever. And I was just like, all right, where are you? I don't go into a whole, this is important to share. I don't go into a whole, I told you so. I don't go into a whole, who is it? I didn't go into a whole finger painting.
Pointing.
Yeah. Finger pointing. I did none of that.
Right.
My response was, where are you? And I'm on my way. To this day, it was not me that provided that responance.
I'm telling you.
It was not me.
It was like an outer body experience
me.
for me, too. To even pick up the phone.
Yeah, man, listen, I told you, I told her 2 years before, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't. And God made me eat my words, because here I am driving to the house, and I'm like, man, what are you doing, bro? Like, this is not your situation. This is not your child. What are you about to put yourself into? And I guess I went back to the place of, I always wanted to be with her, right? And does that now mean, or did that now mean that I would have to not just accept her, but everything that came with her? And in episodes to come, you will find out there's much more to this one here than what meets the eye. That she is incredibly resilient, that she is persistent, that she is stronger than she really thinks.
Thank you.
Right? I mean that. That's off script. That's not even in the outline. And so
we're not gonna talk about this outline. We'll talk about that another time.
That's right. Yeah. And so I go to the house, man, and I'm like, man, so I skipped class that day, right? I had like a 3.2, 3.4 GPA. I'm killing the game, right? I'm like, I can take a class, I can take a day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I end up going to the house. And can I say your name?
Yeah, they know.
Okay. I guess Jail was born. It is about the second month of existence upon the earth. And I meet this wonderful baby for the first time. She's propped up on your bed in between all these pillows. You're still living with your parents at the time. She's propped up in the middle of this bed, and I just start playing with her. I'm like, okay, little baby. And she's just like,
it was like love at first
like
sight.
she's eating it up. And that day I knew I had started to create a bond that was bigger than me. That God had introduced me to a relationship, an experience, a role, and a responsibility that was absolutely larger than anything I had ever faced, larger than anything that I'd ever done before. And it would be one of the most important roles that I would have to play in my life, right? And so that day, that was the day that kind of started everything. And I was just like, man, at the 2 years of foolishness and bad decisions and the breakup, all kind of came to a screeching halt that day, because none of that really mattered.
Yeah.
None of that mattered at that point. And so I had to start asking myself some very real questions at the age of 22, I think. Mm-hmm. What am I doing, right? Am I committing to this? Is this something that I want to commit to? Because these are not the same terms and conditions that we had in play the first time we dated, right? There were adult decisions that were made, there are adult consequences, and now we have to, now the question is, what do we do? What decision do we make with the information that's in front of us?
And if I can interject,
please.
It wasn't just, hey, let me call my friend, he's here, let's get together, I was not in a space where I wanted to be with anyone. I just was like, he can be my friend. We can just be friends, because I was just so overwhelmed, and I just wanted to focus on being the best mother that I could be to Jayla. And so I wasn't even in a space of that. I was just looking at a space of him as comfort, as a person that I know would tell me the truth. He would be, you know what I mean? He would be that honest person for me. I wasn't even looking for a relationship with anyone. So for him to even have these thoughts and stuff like that, I didn't even know that was happening. I was just looking for someone who I know is genuine and really cared about me and really could just talk me down at that time.
Oh, so you don't want nothing? You don't really want to with me?
You know what? I'm not fooling with him, because you remember that I rejected you.
All these years, I've wasted all these years.
You don't remember that,
girl?
Okay.
You called because you needed a hero.
What did I tell you guys?
You called because you needed a hero.
You're painting.
You needed a hero, so you called me.
I told you it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to begin to speak. I was going to give my side of the story, and then he was going to interject with his version.
You needed a hero, so you called. I get it.
Because at first, you don't remember that. I was not trying to.
Captain America wasn't there.
Oh,
Iron Man wasn't there. The Black Panther was not there.
I have nothing to say. He's out.
But I was.
He was there. I was not looking for a relationship at the time. Please don't play me in that.
That's fine.
You don't remember that?
I wasn't looking for a relationship either. I was just being a friend in need.
T-Y.
Ooh, we spelled it. Interesting.
You see, guys, how we're having this heartfelt conversation and how we can turn it. Anyhow, we're supposed to be talking faster. We're at 20 minutes.
Okay.
And so, long story short,
what are some gems that we can extract for the people?
Humility.
Right.
Humility.
What was necessary in that season? Humility.
Humility was necessary in that season. Sometimes you're going to do things in life that you're not necessarily proud of. There's going to be things that shake you up. But know that there's grace. God gives grace to us so easily. We could have done the worst thing in the world, and He gives us grace. Why can't we do the same for each other?
Yeah.
And I feel like in that moment, grace was definitely exercised. And so I would encourage someone who's going through, and you so badly want to call that person because you know that hearing their voice right now in that season may be exactly what you need. Put that pride in the shelf. Put that pride in the shelf. It's not about I told you so. It's not about looking down on someone. It's just being there genuinely for someone. So I would say that.
What else? Yeah, no, I would agree. What else? Yo, it's 3 points. 3 points and a holler. I'm kidding. No, if I could throw something in there.
Yes.
It is to remain flexible, right? I guess it's humility, right?
Yeah,
Not
but
humility,
but
remain flexible. Give God room to operate.
Absolutely.
Right? I think if I stayed within if I moved by my own thought and volition and desires, I would not be in the position that I'm sitting in today. Right? I would have been like, no, that's not my problem, not dealing with it. I could have been very, very dogmatic, very cold-hearted, and just say, hey, I'm not dealing with that. I could have not picked up the call.
Right.
And I think picking up the call opened this door back up. If I don't pick up that call, she's calling somebody else. Probably. Or I don't know who she's calling. But it's just what. So I think remaining flexible and open to opportunities that are unconventional.
Absolutely.
I think that's how God blesses us. That's how God opens doors.
Yeah.
That's how God grows and stretches us, right? And to put us in those places because we're open to unconventional opportunities.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else you share?
I
got this thing in my hand.
Points. I was going to say something else.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Points. I mean, I think we definitely wanted to talk a little bit differently today, but Holy Spirit said something else, and so we abided with it. But I would say,
say it for the next episode.
I would just like to say one thing, though.
Go on. Okay.
I would like to say that once he met her, and we had a friendship before and after during that time as well, before we decided to officially say we were getting back together, that it was true love ever since. And if you see them two now, you could never tell. They're so tight. And I guess we'll get into that next episode when you are in a unique situation where you are with child and now you are looking at people differently in terms of, will they be good for me, but not just for me, but for my child. And so we could talk about that next time, but I would just like to say that was one of the things that really pushed me even more towards him because of how well they bonded, how just watching him evolve and funny stories along that way. I remember the first time that she spit up on him. It was hilarious. We can get into that another time, but he went to the mall, y'all, and bought another shirt.
I sure did.
It was like
I sure did.
But even his family embraced her as if as if she were their own, and it's always been like that. Even to this day, it's never been a step anything.
Yeah, we don't do steps.
We never do step. No one's ever separate. It's just amazing. And I'm sure that some of you who are watching who may know us and didn't know this story are probably shocked because of the way our family is so close and so tight and the way we love. And so now you know, if you didn't know. And this wasn't easy for me to share. And I'm sure we want to also be tasteful and respectful to Jayla because this is her life that we're talking about. And so wanted to be sensitive to that as well. And so we're not sharing this to just give you gossip or anything like that, but we're sharing this for someone who's going through the same thing. We're sharing this for people who are in a broken space. We're sharing this for people who need encouragement in their season. And so babies are blessings. We never know sometimes. Sometimes we don't know when they're coming. Sometimes we do. And most of the time, it's never the right time. But in essence, God said this was nothing but the perfect time. And so I always say this, and I will say this until my dying day, Jayla saved my life. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a few episodes there. For sure. For sure.
So.
I think that's your closing remark.
You think so? I
think so. To add anything else would be over the top.
I closed it.
Yes, you did.
Whoa.
Jayla saved your life. Okay.
Guys, we hope that you enjoyed this episode today. I'm sorry if I forgot to tell you to grab your tissues. I'm proud of myself. I was a G. I'm proud of you too. Because whenever we talk about Jayla, he gets a little...
Felt choked up. I'm a G,
little
though.
Choked up. That's his baby. He loves her so much. He'd do anything for her.
I go to jail about her.
He loves that girl so much. And she teaches me new things every day. But anyhow, before we close out, I want to encourage you to, again, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
As we continue to grow and evolve with this Cracked Vessels podcast. We're so excited for what God has in store. We thank you for pushing us in this season. We just pray that you ride with us. And so this is...
Our time is up. And we thank you for yours.
I'm Samantha Woods.
I'm Robert Woods.
And this is...
Cracked Vessels. Ow. Just cracked my leg. Bye, y'all.
Bye.